Milton Friedman, born July 31, 1912, Brooklyn, New York, U.S., died November 16, 2006. San Francisco, California, was an American economist and educator, one of the leading proponents of monetarism in the second half of the 20th century. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for Economics in 1976. They emigrated to America in their early teens. They both worked as dry goods merchants. Friedman was their fourth child and only son, as well as the youngest of the children. Shortly after his birth, the family relocated to Rahway, New Jersey. Friedman's father, Geno Saul Friedman, died during Friedman's senior year of high school, leaving Friedman and two older sisters to care for their mother. In his early teens, Friedman was injured in a car accident, which scarred his upper lip. A talented student and an avid reader, Friedman graduated from Rahway High School in 1928, just before his 16th birthday. He was the first in his family to attend a university. Friedman was awarded a competitive scholarship to Rutgers University and graduated in 1932. Friedman initially intended to become an actuary or mathematician. However, the state of the economy, which was at this point in a depression, convinced him to become an economist. He was offered two scholarships to do graduate work, one in mathematics at Brown University and the other in economics at the University of Chicago. Friedman chose the latter, earning a Master of Arts degree in 1933. He was strongly influenced by Jacob Viner, Frank Knight, and Henry Simons. Friedman met his future wife, economist Rose Director, while at the University of Chicago. Friedman was also the student of Friedrich Hayek. Friedman was 1 year old when his family moved from Brooklyn, New York, to Rahway, New Jersey, where he grew up. He won a scholarship to Rutgers University, studied mathematics and economics, and earned a bachelor's degree there in 1932. While at Rutgers, he encountered Arthur Burns, then a new assistant professor of economics, whom Friedman ultimately regarded as his mentor and most important influence. Burns introduced him to Alfred Marshall's Principles of Economics, and Friedman later would approvingly quote Marshall's description of economics as an engine for the discovery of concrete truth. Friedman always insisted that the study of economics was not merely a mathematical game and that it should enable one to understand how the real world works. In 1947, Friedman attended the opening meeting of the Mont Pelerin Society, an organization founded by F.A. Hayek and dedicated to the study and preservation of free societies. Friedman would later say that his participation at the meeting marked the beginning of my active involvement in the political process. His multifold involvement included advising Presidents Richard M. Nixon and Ronald W. Reagan on economic policy, participating in various institutes and societies, and writing a regular column from 1966 to 1984 for Newsweek magazine, in which his articles would alternate with those presenting more liberal views on economic matters, by scholars such as Paul Samuelson and Lester Thurow. Friedman's contributions to economic theory are numerous. One of his earliest, described in A Theory of the Consumption Function, 1957, was the articulation of the permanent income hypothesis, the idea that a household's consumption and savings decisions are more affected by changes in its permanent income than by income changes that household members perceive as temporary or transitory. The permanent income hypothesis provided an explanation for some puzzles that had emerged in the empirical data concerning the relationship between the average and marginal propensities to consume. It also helped to explain why, for example, fiscal policy in the form of a tax increase, if perceived as temporary, might not lead to the intended reductions in consumption. Instead, the increased tax might be financed out of savings, leaving consumption levels unchanged. That was Friedman's novel finding. If households do not perceive permanent income as changing, they will maintain their established spending patterns. Friedman's best-known contributions are in the realm of monetary economics, where he is regarded as the founder of monetarism and as one of the successors of the Chicago School tradition of economics. In the 1950s, macroeconomics was dominated by scholars who adhered to theories promoted by John Maynard Keynes. In 1976, The year he retired from the University of Chicago, Friedman was awarded the Nobel Prize for Economics. In 1977, he became a member of the Hoover Institution on War, Revolution and Peace, a 1980 and a set of educational videos of the same title. In 1998, the Friedmans published their memoirs, Two Lucky People. Over the course of his career, Friedman became an articulate spokesman for free markets and free societies in an era when many social scientists disparaged market solutions to social problems. Friedman's collaborative work with Anna J. Schwartz has remained a vital resource for those interested in the monetary history of the United States. Other legacies include Friedman's revival of a monetary approach to macroeconomics and his persistent critique of Keynesian economics.